Hey, welcome back to High Performance Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm Coach Corey. What's up, everybody? Hey, today is F Sugar Friday. F Sugar Friday. Pretty pumped, okay? So, like I said in a previous vlog, I think yesterday's vlog, I said I'm going to talk about how I use my hands and I crouch up the air when I talk. I'm not sure. I just watched it today. I'm like all over the place in my hands. I'm like voguing or something. A little bit weird. But anyway, so it's about the connection to the gut to the brain, right? And I read some studies. There's not a lot of science out there about it, but they're really digging deep into the mental illness connection with the gut. It makes sense because of what they're finding out about your gut bacteria and how it sends signals to your brain and what it's doing. So it kind of makes sense, right? It makes sense that the food that we eat and the way it's processed will have some effect on us mentally. I'm not saying that's all the answer. Nobody really knows. But what I do know is it's a place to start, something that we can control, right? If I feel off in any way, mental clarity, if I'm like a little bit more perturbed or irritated than I usually am, or if I got something physically wrong, like I got some aches or some issues, I'm gonna look right at food. Think, what did I do? Food, sleep, just like environment. What's happening around me? What's going on that make me kind of feel this way and act this way? What's happening, right? So I start there. There's a starting point. So let's start with our kids. Cut out the sugar. It's bad. Processed foods, fast foods, bad. Cut the crap out, right? Stop with it. Stop feeding your kid and expecting them to function at a certain level because it adds frustration to your life and it doesn't help them one bit. Okay? It's a very simple thing. So, we've got to start somewhere, right? So, sugar and these processed foods and fast foods definitely have, in my opinion, have an effect on just about everybody, right? Just how the severity, I don't know. I don't know. Someday they're going to find out. It could be 10, 15 years from now. They're going to find out that sugar, might be really doing some messed up things to people's minds. But there's just not enough science out there. There's some good studies, but these kind of studies in this nutritional world is very, very hard to do unless you take. I was thinking about, unless you take the prison population, which their food is absolutely horrific. It is horrible food. As a former correctional officer, I know firsthand it's horrible food. Our children's food at schools are like a notch higher than what the inmates eat, right? But let's just say, let's take a segment of a population that we can maybe study, and let's just feed them absolutely healthy foods, right? And then let's monitor, and then have them, give feedback, right? Because there's no control study. There's no control. How are you gonna control it? So let's say I'm in a study. I'm not locked up anywhere. I'm out in the free world right now going, I could go and buy me a hamburger right now, and I could lie in my study. I don't tell the truth, right? So it's a lot of really tough, it's a tough area to go in. So if you're into science, you like doing experiments, do it on yourself, right? Eat healthy, change habits. If you have something going on with you where you got some brain fog or maybe some depression or maybe just some like physical stuff going on, change what you're doing. Stop, flip it, turn it, rub it down. Oh no. I don't know. Just change. Don't sit there and wait for, some new finding of science. Just take the basic, elements of living: air, water, food. See what it's doing, right? If you're drinking water and you're breathing air, but eating garbage food, well, then one of the three things aren't working out. That's not, let's align them all up and let's see what we can do, right? So far it's working for us. Our kids are functioning fantastically on the healthier lifestyle. Just last night, My wife and I don't eat cheese, we don't eat dairy, but the kids still dabble in a little bit of it. And cheese, get good quality cheese, but it's a decent snack for those kids, right? So I bought two different kinds. I bought a string cheese organic, and I bought some other little cheese. I can't remember, but all the best I could find at the store. And both kids said that the string cheese, and I bought it before, last week or the week before, whatever it was, and they both said it makes their tummy hurt. Wow. For my 6-year-olds to know that that piece of cheese made their stomach hurt is absolutely phenomenal. Do you know why? It means that they're not riddled with so much trash food that they couldn't pick out that string cheese that they said no to makes their tummy hurt. That to me is a win daddy, right? Because if I were feeding them all the normal trash that we used to eat and all that kind of stuff, the bad foods, the processed foods, the, processed, craziness and all the sugars, their stomach would be so like all the time, oh, it's such a messed up, and I got this roller coaster ride of ick and brain fog and all this kind of stuff. They would have been on this ride and would never notice that dumb string cheese out of all the other trash they ate messed up their stomach. How are you going to pick it out? How are they going to know? Right? It's because our kids don't eat a lot of that stuff. And sometimes when they do have some sugar, whether it's we give it to them or they have a little piece of candy or whatever because they're kids and we want them to have some kind of a life and have an understanding of what's good and what's bad, yada, 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 they know that sometimes that stuff is bad. Last night we give what was it? Oh my gosh, another good story. It's been fantastic this week with good stories from the kids. Oh, school. This morning, my son goes, Daddy, Ava buys sauce at school. I said, what do you mean by sauce at school? Because they don't have any money. I know they're not buying anything. What do you mean by sauce? She buys sauce. And I go, okay, Ava, what are you buying at school? What are you getting? I get ketchup. Oh, you get ketchup packets at school? Yeah, if I asked for them, they give me ketchup. I said, okay. I said, well, baby, that's not. And Cooper, this is what Cooper said. Cooper said, yeah, and that's not healthy food, Ava. Because they know ketchup is not good for you. Ketchup is horrible for you, right? So I told Ava, I said, Ava, you're making some decisions, right? You're at school on your own, and you're making some decisions to have ketchup. I understand that ketchup's not good for you, right? I prefer you not to have it, but I don't want you to hide it. Please share it. It's okay. If you have ketchup, just tell me. I don't want you to hide it, but I just want you to know it's not good for you. And you're going to make your decisions. Put the power in her, right? Give her the control. And let's see what happens. I'm curious to see if I hear anything else about the ketchup. I'll ask another couple, next week I'll ask some time if you have some more ketchup or sauce at school. So things like that, the kids are paying attention, right? They're paying attention. The kids tell me about kids at school that don't eat healthy. Oh my gosh, so-and-so ate this, and this. That's not very healthy, Daddy. I said, yeah, it's not very healthy, baby. But some people, and that's okay once in a while, Coop, to have that. But it's some people just aren't focused on their health as much, right? So it makes a difference. We see it, we're living it, we know it. It's amazing, right? And it's got to do something to the psyche. It just has to, right? Because we all have to have the same, minerals and the same, stuff to biologically take to stay alive. We have to have the same, some, maybe not as much as others, they overproduce, whatever it is, whatever you are, in your biology is what it is. But we all have to have like the basics. So let's make the basics the best. Let's make it the best we can get, right? So my challenge to you parents is, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. That's my challenge. If you can't do it for you, and you're not interested in doing it for you, at least do it for the one that can't choose. That they can't go out and buy their own food. You're buying it for them. And then when they do have something, off script or bad or off the path that you're not on, explain why. Hey, it's a sometimes food, guy. It's okay. Because they're exposed to it. When they're going to be teenagers, they're going to be exposed to it. And then you got to teach them this choice, right? You're making choices. It's I'm just trying to help you out now. When you're old enough, you're going to make choices, and they are what they are. They're going to be for you, right? Give them the control, and give them the power to hopefully continue on the path. Our kids might not. They might just go crazy and ride this horrible food wave because they weren't really that exposed to it. They want to try it all. Maybe they'll try it and be like, ooh, man, I'm feeling kind of sick because my stomach just doesn't respond to that bad foods. I don't know. All I know is at this point in time in their life, I must choose to provide them with the best foods, the best education about what they're eating and why they're eating and what they're doing, the best coping mechanisms to get through this little life that they have, right? So anyway, okay, guys, have Sugar Friday. Sugar is bad. It sucks. Sugar is horrible. I hate it, and let's work towards helping our kids. Okay, guys, have an awesome weekend. If you guys like what you see, subscribe. If you don't, subscribe. If you don't like me crouch up in the air, I said subscribe. Right? Let's have some good times. Learn together. Love you. See ya. Bye.